How's it guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's me, the South African Wanderer. And if you are new to the channel, just a quick wrap on who I am and what I do before we get on with this video. So I'm a qualified field guide, and for the last 18 months or so, have been running my own tour business, taking trips out to the Pilanesberg, and I do bespoke tours and help you plan your trips out to the Drakensberg or the Kruger, anywhere really that I've been and you would like to visit and I have the experience of. So in this video, I just wanted to recap 2022 and then give you some of the plans and possible adventures we're going to go on in 2023. So starting off 2022, we were still quiet in terms of the bookings that were coming through for the Pilanesberg trips. I hadn't really done any trips by the beginning of last year, but the bookings, there were a few bookings, coming up. And what I saw through the year is that we got more and more bookings as we went through. And I think in December, even though it's usually a quiet month with everyone away, we had 6 trips to the Pilanesberg, which was really good for me, and a busy month even with all the holidays. So hopefully 2023 is just going to keep building on that, and we're going to keep getting those day trips out to the Pilanesberg and getting out there and seeing the animals that we did get to see. I think just a recap of some of the exciting sightings we had. I think most excitingly, we saw the female cheetahs with their cubs on multiple occasions in the park. The fact that the females had cubs meant that they needed to hunt quite often, and therefore were out during the daytime, and we did get to run into them quite a few times with different guests. Then we also saw the lions a few times. Normally during the day when we in the park, the lions are flat cats, so sleeping under a bush, so sightings are a bit more difficult. Been a few leopard sightings, with one that gave us very good photo opportunity, and got some video on that as well. And then the park is known for its elephant and rhino sightings, so those are almost guaranteed on all the trips that we've been on, with I'd say one closer encounter than we had wished for, where the breeding herd of elephant had basically got around the car, and we couldn't really move anywhere, and the female and the youngsters were playing with the lights on top of my roof rack, and then the windscreen wiper on the back windscreen, which was a bit of a hair-raising experience. But I think knowing the park and knowing the animals in the park, it's just to stay calm, and they will satisfy their curiosity and move off. So 2022 was a year that was filled with Pilanesberg trips, not only with clients, but I did, I think, 3 or 4 trips by myself as well, because I just love the park. I love being out in the park and just sitting in the hides or watching the animals interact brings me so much joy that even when I'm not working, I love getting out there and just enjoying what I call my office these days. I think then to recap on the personal trips, got out to Kruger twice, both on big birding events, with some time in the park before and after the events. In February, we went to Prashin, and we had an amazing time on the extreme birding weekend. I think it was more than 230 birds that we saw, on the truck on that 3 days, I think it was. And I think I got, quite a few new birds for myself on that trip alone. And then in November, we went for the birding on foot. This time I went solo, got some brilliant sightings, on my way up. And I think you would have just seen that series of videos from the Kruger. That's just come to an end now. So it felt like a good time to actually jump on and do this video for the channel. I think then just in terms of the other birding trips that we did, I did a solo trip out to St. Lucia, like I had planned to, earlier in the year. And I got the mangrove kingfisher, which was my last kingfisher on my list. And a lot of other special birds in the area, birding with St. Lucia Birding Tours, as well as Junior Gabela in the Mtunzini area. And we got some really special birds on that trip. Unfortunately, on that trip, I lost all the photos, and that was a bit of a lesson learned for me, but I haven't repeated it since. So yeah, hopefully that is a lesson learned. And then I also guided my first almost photography tour to Giant's Castle and the Giant's Castle vulture hide, where you get to see the bearded vultures, and we got some spectacular nighttime shots as well, which was a really great bonus while we were at the vulture hide. I think while we're on the subject of birds and bird photography, I started off the year with 403 birds on my list. I had just passed 400 at the end of 2021, and as of November 2022, I'm on 508 birds. So I added 105 birds in the year, which I think was quite spectacular going. With just, I think, the extreme birding, the trip down to St. Lucia, the trip in November for the birding on foot, and then what eventually pushed me over the line was birding with Samson Umlautsi, hope I pronounced his name right, out in the Sotspansberg, which is between Luitsighat and Toyandu. So some good birding to be had there, and the video of that trip is still to come. I'll just have to edit and get it up on the channel as well. So 2022 was quite an exciting year. In terms of hiking, I think we didn't get out as much. I had planned to try and get a booking for the Otter Trail, but failed dismally. I think for the better part of 6 months, I would sit on the telephone and call the the number for the Otter Trail, and every time I got through, I was either too late or I held for too long, and all the slots were booked up. And eventually, I actually just gave up. But thankfully, in October, a friend, Tishen, actually managed to book the Whale Trail for October this year. So what we're going to start doing is, getting hiking fit, because that's a 5-day trail, if I'm not mistaken, where you do, I think, more than 40 kilometers in the 5 days. So you have to be fit for that one. But I think it's slack packing, so not as bad on carrying everything around with you as you go along. So I may have jumped the gun a little bit, and we're already moving into the plans for the trips this year. Obviously then October for the Whale Trail, and maybe we'll do a little bit of a road trip in and around that. I think the Whale Trail is down along the garden route near the Robberberg Nature Reserve, so maybe we can visit the Robberberg Nature Reserve while we're there, and take a few extra days and explore the area, since we are going to be down there anyway. But in terms of other trips, I do have a plan to go visit Cape Town again. Prasheen's turning 30 this year, so friend of the channel. One day he's going to start his own channel, hopefully soon, and we can link his channel. But he's turning 30 in February, so maybe we'll be out in Cape Town, I think for the first time since the Hanabos trip, which was September 2021 already. So it's been more than a year since we got down to Cape Town. So yeah, maybe do some of the hikes in and around Cape Town, up Table Mountain this time maybe. The Lion's Head hike is one of my most watched videos for last year, so maybe if I do a hike up the Table Mountain, we'll get some good views on that as well. And then there's a few birds that I need to chase and tick off, maybe even get on a pelagic trip and go see some of the species that don't really come on land, and you have to take a boat out and see that. But seasickness is a big worry for me. As we get into the year, we'll also have to plan the trips around how busy we get, with the Pilanesberg tours, with a few bookings already, through the year, scattered through the year, and being able to take bookings, up to 36 hours before any trips. I think we'll have to plan around, the long weekends and the busy seasons and stuff like that. I'm sure we'll get busy again June, July, August, so won't be really doing any trips then. But what I will do is try and book out the Vulture Hide again, so that we can do 4 days in the Vulture Hide. Spectacular photographic opportunities. So we'll plan that and get 3 photographers to come along with again this time. Last year we had PJ, Nehal and Vikash with us, and they absolutely loved it. So look out for that. I'll confirm dates. Just working on getting the Gauteng Tourism Authority to sort out my tourism license. I've been doing that since September last year, and it's been a back and forth with them. And yeah, hopefully before the end of this month, we'll get that done. As we work around the peak seasons, what I will try to do is get out to some of the other sand parks, around the country as well. What you may or may not know is that I visited 19 of the 21 sand parks in South Africa. So sand parks is the national body that runs the national parks in South Africa, and they have 21 parks registered under them. I think with one new park being established, as we speak. And of those 21, I've done all of them except the Richtersveld and the Namakwa. So those are 2 northwest in the country that I haven't done. Maybe one day I'll get out there, but I think you may need a 4x4 for that and some time. So, what I'm going to try to do is maybe stay away from the Kruger so much and do some of the other beautiful parks in the country. Obviously, I've been to the Kalahari and the videos are on the channel, but Mountain Zebra, Addo, I've been to Camp Debu just driving through, but maybe, spend some more time there. And then going along the Garden Route National Park, which includes, the wilderness area, the Naizna, and those sort of areas. And then what I'm going to try and maybe do is get out to Cape Vidal, St. Lucia again. I loved my trip last year, and maybe we'll get more of a relaxing holiday than chasing birds, but maybe we'll get that done as well. But as always, we'll take you along as the adventure pops up. So, there's more incentive to stay tuned, because I think 2023 will have some almost unexpected travel involved. And yeah, hopefully you can come along for that journey. I think lastly, speaking about coming along for the journey, just an update on the channel itself. We started off the year 2022 with about 550 subs, and we got it over the 1,000 sub mark by November last year. And what I've been trying to do since then is get the watch hours up. I think there was a little bit of a slump in February, March last year when we just didn't have the content to put out there, so we didn't have as many views and watched hours through the month. But hopefully, we've got a solid stream of content planned already, and by the end of January or somewhere in the middle of February, we will have the requisite 4,000 watched hours to be able to monetize the channel and then earn a small income for you viewing my videos as well. And I think while we're on that, I would like to say thank you to all the new subscribers we got through the year, as well as everyone who watches and engages. Without you guys, the channel wouldn't really exist. So thank you for that. I think the goal for this year, the stretch goal, would be to double the number of subscribers again. So get it to the 2,000 subscriber mark. I think that will be my big goal for the year, 2K subs. And, we adding about 40 to 50 subs a month. So, in 12 months, maybe we'll be able to get there or thereabouts. If we keep making content and the people enjoy it, hopefully that will push the algorithm and we keep, growing the channel. But yeah, I think I've waffled on for a little bit. I think if you watch the channel, when I am in front of the camera, I do tend to waffle and do tend to talk a lot, but hopefully this video outlines the plans for this year in terms of travel, as well as what I'm doing behind the scenes just to keep going. And yeah, we'll keep bringing you along for the adventure, and hopefully you keep watching. And if there are any suggestions in terms of what you want to see on the channel, please just drop a comment or even email me. I'll add my email to the video description, so feel free to do that and reach out, and yeah, we'll take any suggestions. One of the big suggestions has been to get the videos down to that optimum 8 to 12 minutes, and we try, and I promise you we are. So yeah, we're going to try and get it short, sharp, and snappy and to the point. But sometimes there is a need to explain more and give further detail. So yeah, we will catch you on the next video, which will be in all probability a review of the little LED cube that I got and have been using. And then we'll jump into the Soutpansberg birding trip, I think, which will be in 2 parts. And then, yeah, we've got a few additional videos after that to do as well, which gets us almost all the way to February in terms of content. So, stay tuned, and here's hoping we catch you on some of the adventures of the South African wanderer as I wander through our beautiful country.